This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I made a mistake earlier today, and I set this live to go on at 10, and I really meant for it to go on at 10:30. I just wasn't going to be able to make it at 10 o'clock. I didn't realize it until I sat down and I seen Donald Cannon say that I gave up on us. I didn't give up on us. Would I ever give up on the Knicks? No, I would never do that, ladies and gentlemen. Just made a mistake. Mental error happens when you start to get up there in age. You make some mental errors. But the Knicks tonight defeated the Brooklyn Nets 114-104. Twice in a row this weekend. They beat them Friday night. They beat them tonight. And the Knicks are on a 2-game win streak. Hopefully, we continue that win streak as we take on the Washington Wizards tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to enjoy this one right now. You know, the game early in the game, it was kind of back and forth a little bit. Closer game, the Knicks kind of ran away with it there in the third quarter, and then sometime in the third quarter, early fourth, whatever it was, and then the Knicks just kind of basically controlled the game to the end. Unlike the previous game where it took a Jalen Brunson shot for the Knicks to win. The Knicks took care of business tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. And heroes abound for the team tonight. Heroes abound for the team tonight. You know, led in scoring tonight by Karl Anthony Towns, but OG Anunoby, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to talk about OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby is quickly turning into, right now, I'm going to say he's the Knicks' third best player. That was supposed to be Mikal Bridges. Right now, it's OG Anunoby, in my opinion. Mikal Bridges had a nice game tonight, too. But OG is playing some very, very, very good basketball for this team. He's floating in all the right spots to receive the dump-off pass. Every once in a while, you see him break down against or break down the closeout. When the closeout, not every once in a while, a lot. The closeout comes out, OG, boom, boom, off the dribble. And a lot of times he's in for a dunk. He's knocking down the three. He's knocking down the mid-range. Sean Richardson said third best with question marks. He's better than Brunson right now. Come on. Okay, listen, you're talking about a period in time. Maybe he's playing better. Okay, I get that. You know, they have two different roles on the basketball team. So it's hard for me to say that he's better than Jalen Brunson even right now because they have two different roles. If you took OG and you said, be the primary ball handler, be the leader, be the engine, he would fail in that job, Sean. Come on. He would fail in that job. You dig what I'm saying? That's not what he does. Right now, he's perfect at what he does, and he's doing what he does at a very high level. So yeah, I'm going to say he's the third best player on this basketball team right now. Not better than Brunson. Not better than Brunson. Brunson has a whole different level of responsibility to this basketball team. So we got to chill with that. You know what I mean? We got to chill with that. Listen, we all knew it was going to happen. Once Julius Randle was gone, Brunson was going to start to take. Now he's the one that's going to have the bulletproof vest on for a little while. He's the one that's going to take the hits for everybody. And I get it. I dig it. I understand that. You know what I mean? I understand that. It is what it is. Right now, OG is the third best player on his basketball team. And I think it was my man Tony Crow, before the season started, who said he could envision OG, maybe having one of the best seasons of his career and stepping in to be that third best player. I definitely recall that happening. Tony, what's poppin' with you, brother? How are you feeling?
Oh
You know what I'm saying?
man,
My man
back
T
to
Crow in the
back.
building. Yes, sir.
Feeling good, Sim.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to the chat.
Yeah.
Yo, Black is time.
Yeah. Let's talk about OG, man. I'm talking about OG Anunoby because OG Anunoby is playing tremendous basketball right now. 24 points tonight. I'm saying that in my, with the way that he's playing, he's going to be he might be a 20-point scorer for this basketball team. He's playing within more of an aggressive mindset. Obviously, defense, that's his calling card, but with what he's doing offensively, you add that to this basketball team it just makes it hard for this team makes it harder to beat this team. What's your thoughts, man, on OG and what he's doing right now?
He's definitely on one of his best stretches I've seen, you know what I mean? And that's saying a lot considering well, I think last year it was more about his impact. It wasn't necessarily him putting up 20-point games, but I think this is 4 in a row with like 24, 25, somewhere between that, 4 in a row. Yeah, he's on a stretch, and you're right. I did say I could envision him having a career year, but you've been the ones that's consistently saying he might be the third best player, over Macau, since we got this group together. Yeah, I mean he's doing his thing. It's looking like he's finding his niche on both ends of the floor. Mm-hmm. And he's been on the record saying he wanted to get a bigger offensive role. You know what I mean? So it's showing proof time, and he's doing it.
Yeah, he's definitely doing it, man. And he has strength, he has athleticism. He's a little bit quicker off the dribble when he attacks a closeout than maybe someone would give him credit for. Can't say enough about what OG is doing. Do you think he can maintain this the entire season? Right now, he's averaging 17.5 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 2.2 steals per game. From the field, OG shooting 50% from the field. He's shooting 37.3% from the three-point line.
I think he can, because if I had to say what his biggest difference that I've noticed in his game this year is just how aggressive he is, right? So I think that's something that's easy to maintain. It's not like he's out here, putting the ball on the floor, dribbling the ball crazy or whatever. You know what I mean? He's not doing nothing that's like out of what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just playing with a little bit more aggression. You know what I mean? Now he gets to the rim, I'm trying to dunk every time instead of laying it up. You know what I mean? Like little things like that go a long way. Then it starts becoming intimidating.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because now they know what he's looking for. But even with his dunks, it's not like he's over here trying to dunk on people. He's just finishing strong. You know what I mean? Like every opportunity he gets. So to me, I think it's very easy to maintain because it's really just aggression level.
Yeah. And I love to see it because he's a guy who consistently, I've said, I don't know if he has the personality to be aggressive, and to play with an aggressive mentality. And he's proving to have that mentality, and he's playing with a more aggressive mentality. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he's just getting more confident in the system, more confident playing next to Brunson, Cat, Mikal Bridges. And, when you get new players, okay, he's one of the players that's returning this year. Even though last season he was only with the team for, since January or whatever it was, but he went through some playoff battles with the team. When you have a little bit of seniority on the team, your confidence level kind of goes up, right? It's like, okay, these guys are just getting here. I know what needs to be done. I know the organization. I know what Tom Thibodeau expects from me with this particular team. So maybe some of that's coming out right now. All right. And hey, it's beautiful to see because for years you heard about OG Anunoby and the potential that he had. Now, I guess we can say that he probably had some stretches like this with Toronto. So we've got to see, can he maintain this stretch of play? Can he stay healthy? And can he maintain this stretch of play? Or not maintain the stretch, just maintain this level of play. We'll see what it is. But, OG Anunoby, doing a ton of work for the New York Knicks. He's like Josh Hart, an all-purpose guy, except for, the assist maybe. But an all-purpose, all-purpose guy, defense. He can rebound the ball a little bit. Shoot the mid-range to three. Right, shoot the mid-range to three, run in transition, catch slashes to the basket. He does a lot of things out there on the floor. Love what I'm seeing from OG Anunoby. And I had somebody tweet me today and say, "Oh, you got to start this OG for All-Star conversation."
Defensive Player of the Year.
Defensive Player of the Year. You think OG could be an All-Star? I mean, a lot's going to depend on the Knicks and how well the Knicks are doing, of course. But do you see All-Star potential with OG?
I mean, I think he's the type of player for him to make the All-Star team. We're probably going to have to catch up to the Cavs. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to have to be like the third member of the team as the All-Star, you know what I mean? Or even the fourth.
Right. Right.
And I say that because they don't necessarily look at all-around game most of the time. You know what I mean? It's really an offensive thing. And I mean, maybe he has a better chance because I doubt he would ever be a starter, considering the fan vote being so important.
Starter.
So,
yeah.
Maybe the coaches and the other guys, the basketball people will give him his just due and recognize it. But I do think we would have to be like first in the league, for first in the East, second in the East. You know what I mean? But it's not far fetched. He just he would have to be like I said, the third guy. I can't see him getting it over Brunson. You know what I mean? I can't see him getting it over Towns.
No. Either one of those guys have enough fans to be voted in as a starter, Brunson and Towns. What do you think?
Oh, I mean, I thought you were saying either one, but I would definitely say Towns, considering he got Dominican Republic, like the whole Dominican Republic.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Or at least the basketball fan base of Dominican Republic. Yeah. So I think he could do that. And he's more of a recognized household name.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like coming into the league as somewhat a star and maintaining that, where Brunson, he's still ascending.
Right. True. Shout out to Jason Benjamin. Thank you for the super chat. He said that OG and Cat combination on offense is looking good. OG cutting to the basket whenever Cat is in the post. In the paint, it's tough to defend. More of that. I agree. And they're developing a natural connection where Cat is looking for OG, cutting along the baseline. Paris Douglas.
But I love.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say I love it because he does the same. Macau does the same, but I love it a lot more with OG because of his size, you know what I mean, and his strength. So, you know what I mean, he's a bigger target.
Mhm.
I think he has better hands, you know what I mean, and then once he gets in that post, he's one dribble away from dunking it.
Yeah, yeah, he gets up a little higher, I think, than McCall. You know, without a doubt. I mean, I was at the Knicks Wizards game preseason, and OG Anunoby's calves are like tree trunks. It's crazy. I was like, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like the dude's calves is just huge, like tree trunks, man. You know, it's yeah, so he definitely has power. You know, he definitely has power. Paris Duggar, thank you for the super chat. He said, well, Cat and OG make double the dollars than Brunson, so they better show out every game. Brunson won the game, Cat couldn't play. That's leadership early season. It is leadership, and I think Brunson brings leadership anyway. That's just how he plays. You know what I mean? And you know, this team is a little bit different now. So everyone's got to adjust. Tom Thibodeau has to adjust. You know what I mean? And Brunson has to adjust. Brunson he'll shape up. He'll shape up. Jason Benjamin again, thank you for the super chat. Said that Bridges' mid-range shot is looking automatic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, tonight's one of those nights where the other guys took over. Brunson, you know, didn't shoot the ball well tonight. I don't want to say played poorly. He didn't shoot the ball well. And we got to see other guys take over the game. Right? Karl Anthony Towns, who's been playing amazing for the Knicks so far, 26 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists for Cat. Right? As, you know, you start to see the chemistry really picking up, him being able to find people cutting to the basket, those guys knowing that Cat is going to pass the basketball. You know, it's another 33 assists for the Knicks tonight. 33 assists on 43 made shots. You know, these are definitely these are magnificent numbers. 33 assists, 43 made shots. Great numbers for the Knicks. 24
and it's been consistent.
And it's been consistent, right? It's not like it's just happening one or two games here and there. It's definitely been consistent. 24 points for OG Anunoby, 8 rebounds, 1 block. You know, what do you think about OG's rebounding early in the season? I don't know.
It's been better, but I want more. You know what I mean? I want him to get it to 10.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's still up from previous, you know what I mean, from I think his career. I think he's about 6 rebounds per game.
Yeah, I think he's 5.5 rebounds right now.
You know what I mean? So he's definitely got it, you know, up 3 points or whatever. 3, but I would like to see him get it closer to 10.
What are his career averages in rebounding? Let me check it out.
Oh, that's what I was saying. I thought it was about 6. You saying he's averaging 5.5 right now?
Right now he averages 5.5.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, I want it up. I want it. Pardon me. Man, at least to 8. You know what I mean? At least to 8.
So, you know, last year with the Knicks was 4.2. With the Raptors was 4.4. 22-23, he averaged 5. 21-22, he averaged 5.5. 2021, 5.5. 2019, 25.3. So this is about what he does.
Let's get it to 7 or 8. You know what I mean?
You think he needs to make a concerted effort to get it there?
I do. And he's not when he's in there, he you know what I mean? I've seen him grab rebounds over people or tap it, you know what I mean, to someone, you know what I mean? He's very cerebral with his rebounding, you know what I mean? Like he'll tap assists, you know what I mean, to somebody down low. But yeah, I do think he needs to make a conscious effort. We need it as a team though, because that's something that's one area that, you know, we thought we lost.
Right.
Cat's been great. You know what I mean? So he's made up for some of what we thought we lost, but it's been a staple in what we do. So yeah, I do.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if he can. I think, yeah, it's not just going to come naturally to him because he hasn't done it all these years. It's going to be It's going to have to be something that he really thinks about and says, "I'm going to make a serious effort to rebound the ball." You know what I mean? And see if I can average 8 rebounds a game. You know, I think it's definitely doable, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. Josh Hart tonight, 20, almost a triple double for Josh Hart. And what's new? 20 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 61.5% from the field, 42.9% from the 3-point line for Josh Hart tonight. Jalen Brunson, a slow night scoring, 12 points, 10 assists though, 5 rebounds, only shot 21.4% from the field, 0 for 5 from the 3-point line, but he had 10 assists. So recognized the shot wasn't falling, found other people. How you feel about that?
For Brunson?
For Brunson, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what he's done. It's not many games, and not necessarily this year, but in the past, it's not many games where he's really been off like that. But in those games, he tends to pick up his assists. You know what I mean? Still make big buckets in the fourth. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what he does, even when he's having a bad shooting game. He'll hit a clutch basket. You know what I mean? Or have a clutch stretch. But yeah, he takes I think it's a conscious effort to affect the game when he's not, you know what I mean, when he's not shooting the ball well.
Yeah. And that's a great thing. Campaign tonight played well. Maybe his best game as a Knick. 9 points, 6 assists for Campaign. Played 16 minutes and 41 seconds. No Deuce McBride tonight, so Cam had to, play more minutes. Dadier played tonight. He played 9 minutes tonight. Didn't score the ball, but it was nice to see him out there the last couple of games, and hopefully it continues. We continue to see Dadier out there. You know what I mean? Because I think that I think the kid has a world of potential. World of potential for Dadier. Nice numbers, nice, balanced scoring for the Knicks. Even though Jalen Brunson didn't score the ball a whole heck of a lot of balanced scoring for the Knicks, for them to get their second win in a row, both over the Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks are now 7-6 on the season. The Nets tonight were led in scoring by Cameron Johnson, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. After that, they had even scoring, but, nobody else eclipsed the 20-point mark. Dorian Finney-Smith had 16 points. Cam Thomas had 16 points. Noah Clowney had 13 points. Jalen Wilson had 15 points. Listen, the team is scrappy, no doubt about it. The Brooklyn Nets, they're scrappy, predicated on defense. If they get some other guys in there, they might be able to build something there. But the Knicks handled business. They did what they needed to do. They're actually 2-0 in their group as far as the NBA Cup. I think they're 4th in the Eastern Conference right now. You know what I mean? So hopefully things are looking where we need them to go. Any just thoughts about the game overall, Tony?
I definitely have to rewatch it. I was at work, you know what I mean? So I had to take my little peeks when I could.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't give much. I did notice, not to be negative, but Cat, he's really got to figure out how to stay out of foul trouble. You know what I mean? I felt like every time I took a peek, he was getting called for a foul. I don't know what he ended up with, but I know he had 3 early, and I remember him, coach leaving him in with 4. So I don't know if he picked up any more. But that's just one area of improvement that I think we could fix. Mikal, like somebody mentioned in the chat, his mid range is killer. You know what I mean? I'm loving it, but like I said, I gotta rewatch the game to once we done.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think what you can see offensively is the offensive chemistry really coming together. Still, 114 points, but the offensive chemistry coming together between different players, obviously, and that's going to happen, right? Different players, you're going to find different pieces here and there of players. The chemistry coming together, and then it starts to come together as a team. And so as things go on, the offense is going to get better. We need the defense to continue to get better, which, it was okay tonight. They gave up 104 points to Brooklyn. So obviously that's not bad. When we look at the game stats, Brooklyn shot 41.5% from the 3-point line. Guess you got to give up something. They only shot 42% from the field overall. 35 rebounds for Brooklyn. The Knicks 47 rebounds. That's the kind of rebounding numbers you want to have. That's the kind of rebounding numbers we've been used to, for the past couple of years. 31 assists for Brooklyn, 33 for the Knicks. 4 steals for the Knicks, 5 blocks for the Knicks. Much better number, good number. 9 turnovers for Brooklyn, only 6 for the Nets. Again, the Nets 42.1%, the Knicks 48.9% from the field. The Knicks only shot 32.5% from 3, while Brooklyn shot 41.5%. Kind of the difference in what kept the game maybe a little bit closer than you would expect. 76% free throw shooting for the Nets, 78.9% for the Knicks. The Knicks, 50 points in the paint, Brooklyn 24. 15 second chance points for the Knicks, 9 for Brooklyn. 16 fast break points for the Knicks, just 8 for the Brooklyn Nets. For the most part, the Knicks, when you look at the numbers, dominated this basketball game.
I got a question for you, Sim. Because I did see the first game, twice.
Okay.
Cam Thomas was just a killer. He didn't seem to have that same impact tonight. And I did hear, I think Clyde or one of the announcers just mention the Knicks honing in on him tonight. But like I said, I didn't get to analyze it. What did you see in that aspect? Did they make some type of change, or do you think it was Cam Thomas having a off night?
I mean, I think they might have cued in on him just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Understanding, you play a team twice, you say, you understand, okay, we might need to cue in on him. Let's shut him down. They don't have any other scorers. You know what I'm saying? That can really, really affect us. We cue in on him. We don't have such a tight game, or it doesn't end up being such a tight game. So, and then some of it could have been him, having an off night as well. But I think, they definitely made an effort to cue in on him. Right.
And you talked about OG being our third best player potentially. And I think there's an argument that Josh Hart has been our most consistent player, and he's having a heck of a year. But where would you put? What do you think about that? And then where would you put Hart in the pecking order? And I know he's not giving you the offensive numbers, but impact wise, you know what I mean? I don't even know. Like his impact, I don't know if we win half the games we play without his impact.
That's definitely true. So when you say pecking order, though, pecking order as far as what?
I mean, would you put McCall 4 and Hart 5?
If we're talking about scoring, like who if we need a bucket and the other guys can't get it, who are we giving it to?
And I mean, all right, see now you're getting deep into it. When you say best player, you know what I mean? Because honestly, I feel you with OG, but I kind of feel like I still feel like McCall, and you mentioned this a little while ago. I feel like Mikal just gotta still find his way a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And OG maybe being his second year, first full year, whatever. You know what I mean? Being just a little bit more familiar, that might be why he's where he is now. But I don't know. I'm just trying to give Josh Hart his flowers. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
Josh Hart is working. There's no doubt
Like,
about it. Josh Hart is
he's
working.
been
If they
super
had a
consistent.
junkyard dog award, Josh Hart would win it every year. You know what I mean?
You know, it's funny. The Knicks should give that award out, considering he
Yeah,
played. I mean, he played for us.
yeah. Well, let me ask you this: between OG and Mikal, if you didn't have Hart, if you didn't have Cat or Brunson, who you giving the ball to
Mikal
go get a bucket?
for sure. Like without hesitation.
Okay.
Like OG's best strength is playing off of others, but the fact that he's so efficient. You know what I mean? So it's like he's the complementary piece. You know what I mean? Like at the highest level. Now I'll give the ball to OG in a mismatch. You know what I mean? Like I'll let him utilize that. But when you're talking about like go get the bucket, I would go to Mikal first. For sure. I mean, I would even go. I would even go with Cat first. Maybe not yet, because I feel like he also has to get a little bit more comfortable. You know what I mean? But if Brunson's not here, like if he's missing the game and it's going down to a wire, you can see Cat getting the ball and being the decision maker.
You mean OG?
No,
I
Cat.
mean Cat. Oh, Cat.
I was saying I would put Cat above Mikal.
Oh yeah, easy.
You know what I mean?
I'm putting Cat over Mikal.
But
I'm talking.
yeah, but when you go just those two, yeah, I'm going with Mikal as far as go get a bucket, and that's why I would put him still over OG right now, because I'm not, you know what I mean, I'm not really trusting OG to go get the bucket now, but finish, I think he's superior. You know what I mean? Like he's a finisher, he's efficient, and he plays like best off ball.
Yeah. Okay. The only thing I would say is I agree with you, because Mikal, I think, has a more versatile offensive game, right? And can go off the dribble better, like more elusive off the dribble. Only thing I'd say is times when we've seen everyone's out and OG had to score, he was capable.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like capable of taking it upon himself to get a bucket. Now, sometimes he gets a little funky when he's inside there in traffic, though. You know what I mean? It's a little funky.
Yeah, sometimes it's like you can see where his level stops, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you know, like you mentioned, occasionally he'll try to do something out of his realm. You know what I mean? In those moments, you know what I mean?
Right.
Where he got that freedom, or he's having one of them games, he'd be like, all right, I'm about to try something I haven't done yet. Yeah, you know what I mean? But that's the tricky thing though. If it's down to a last shot, I might want OG to take it because of his efficiency. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't want him to create it and take it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Nah, it definitely makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Either way, OG's having a great season. Mikal is starting to pick up. You know, if all four of those guys are humming at the same time, like, what do you see from if all four of those guys if we hit a stretch where all four of them are cooking like that?
I mean, we envisioned it before the season started. You know what I mean? And that Boston loss kind of just brought us down back down to reality.
Brought us down to earth real quick.
Yeah, made us understand. All right, it's gonna take some time. We gotta gel. They gotta learn each other. But we already envisioned what it could be. You know what I mean? Before we even seen them play together.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So we have them parallel with Boston. You know what I mean? Like simple and plain. Now some people may think we're crazy. You know what I mean? In the Knicks fandom and outside the Knicks fandom,
Yeah.
some people may think we're crazy, but that's what we've envisioned.
Yeah. Kevin Bergen says, what I see is finals appearance, meaning if all four of them guys are cooking like that.
Mhm.
You know, listen, the Knicks got some catching up to do. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 15-0 to start the season. It's crazy. 15-0. I mean, I don't know. The Celtics 11-3, Magic 8-6, the Knicks 7-6. I'll say this: they're 15-0, but they, I mean, the Knicks should have beat them. The Knicks was up 13 on them. The Knicks should have beat them.
Yeah, there's a couple games they should have lost. You know what I mean? They squeaked out.
Yeah. Kevin said we're not catching the Cavaliers. No, we're probably not catching them. That don't mean we can't beat them if we face off against them in the playoffs. I fully believe we can beat them.
And I don't think it's out the realm of possibility because I don't think 15-0. I don't think that's real. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like I think they're a good team for sure. They probably are better than they've been in the past couple of years just because of the growth. You know what I mean? And chemistry and continuity and all that. So they're probably peaking right now as a team, but I don't believe they're as good as their record. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they're the best team in the league.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think so either. I think they're hot right now. They're hot. They're hot. I don't think they're the best team in the league either.
And I like when teams start like that because now when it gets rocky, when it gets shaky, when they get a little, you know what I mean, stretch, now you can see who they really are.
Right.
You know what I mean? We talked about Boston not really dealing with any adversity all year long. This is not a shot at them, but this is just something that I said at least. And that's what made me question the how big of a threat they were before they won, obviously. But yeah, same thing. Like, let me see them when they get some adversity. You know what I mean? Let me see them when they lose 2 games in a row and how that goes. You know what I mean? Let me see them when Donovan sat a game, but let me see if he got to sit a few games, how they bounce back with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. My man Sean Richardson, always the antagonist, said, why does this channel ignore the Thibodeau recklessness? Sean, can you explain what the Thibodeau recklessness is? And Tony, what do you think Sean is talking about? You're muted.
I said tonight's game I didn't see, so I wouldn't be referencing tonight. But the only he said Thibodeau recklessness. Maybe some people say he leaves guys in too long, even if a game is already out of reach, one way or another. That could be something that is considered, recklessness.
Yeah. So
and then heavy minutes.
Right.
I mean, those are the only things that I can hear.
I think that's what they're talking about. 46 minutes for Josh Hart, 44 minutes for Mikal Bridges, 40 minutes for OG Anunoby.
That's what's crazy about that is, again, when I was looking up, it seemed like he had people in the rotation. Yeah, like you mentioned, Dadier getting some minutes. I mean, I don't know how many.
Dadier played 9 minutes and 33 seconds. Campaign 16. Jericho Sims played 18:05. Huck Porty didn't play.
Okay. Oh, those are the guys that are gonna get the minutes. You know what I mean? Especially Mikal and OG, because those are the defenders. You know what I mean? So I don't know how much time we could go without those two.
Yeah, and then Sean is screaming at me on a back-to-back. On a back-to-back. I mean,
I ain't gonna lie. All right, let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Yeah.
And ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Had we lost this game, how would you feel?
You know my stance. I'm not me personally, I don't care about how many minutes a player plays. It doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? That a player plays minutes. As a coach, I'm playing my guys. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not trusting my bench, I'm playing my guys. I'm there to win basketball games. You know, and you know, sometimes you look down the bench and you're like, no, I'm not doing it right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust this dude. I don't trust this one or this one.
I mean, that's how Tibbs is. like you can see it when he making substitutions. Here's the thing. Maybe those guys get short minutes tomorrow, and then it's a moot point.
Mm-hmm.
You know
right.
what I mean? Maybe,
and that could be another thing. They're looking and saying we got Washington tomorrow. Now, maybe that's a bad idea to have though, because you never know what's going to happen in the league. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just in the NBA, these guys getting paid a lot of money to play basketball.
I don't have a problem calling Tibbs out when I see something.
I don't have a problem either.
Or I feel something's wrong. I didn't see today's game, so I can't comment on today. But and I don't know if the game was out of reach at any point. You know what I mean?
It was never really out of reach, in my opinion.
And
never really out of reach.
And forget that, man. You can't even look at what transpired the previous game.
Exactly.
We just played them.
Exactly.
And they came back from 23 from 22 down. So you know what I mean? So they just got the no lead is safe experience. I ain't mad at Tibbs.
The biggest lead the Knicks had was 15.
Yeah, I ain't mad at Tibbs. They just came back the other game from 22 down. Where, you know what I mean? Like, he's not playing. He want to win the game.
Yeah. That's how I am, man. I don't know. I don't know. You know, people complain about it. People complained about it with Randall and Brunson and RJ and all these guys, right? And when you looked at the end of the season, they weren't. They were like down. They were maybe in the top 25 in minutes, but down towards the bottom. Or somewhere around there.
It's usually defenders that Tibbs plays that high volume minute.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when you go back to the Chicago days, you know, the narrative was the narrative, but Dang was the one that was the highest guy in minutes. And it was by a lot. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't Rose, it wasn't Joakim, it wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't the other guys. It was the OG type guys, the Mikal type guys.
Yeah.
Last year, Josh Hart, you know what I mean? Precious, you know what I mean? So it's usually the energy defending guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably by necessity in Tibbs' mind. You know what I mean? It's not usually the scorers. And when it is, it's because they're the only person scoring.
Right. Yeah. Deanne said, what is Tibbs' trust worth? As though he's a mastermind coach. What is Tibbs' trust worth? For the players, it's worth everything.
Like trusting Tibbs? I mean, I trust him.
You know, I mean, the players want Tibbs' trust if that's what he's talking about. I trust him as a coach. I mean, he's gotten us here where we are.
From where we were.
From where we were. I mean, come on. Everything is different. Everything has changed. You know what I'm saying? Everything. You know, everything. There's no way that I don't trust him. You know, so I'm not exactly sure if you're talking about players' trust in Tibbs or the fans' trust in Tibbs, but I trust him. You know, Kevin Berger said, we could talk in April, and I guarantee you won't be talking about being out of the first round. Oh, I'm not sure if he was talking who he's talking to on that. No, I don't think we're going to be out the first round. Let me see. Sean Richardson said, Sim, you and I know Thibodeau has a ceiling. Every coach had a ceiling until they won a championship. Every coach that won a championship, people questioned whether they could win a championship.
And even when you win, like, I don't know. I'm not going with that ceiling thing. You know what I mean? Like, let's see him. Let's see him get to the ceiling then. Let's see, because I hope you're not saying that we already got to our ceiling. Because I think you can't say that and ignore the circumstances.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of how we lost, you know what I mean, last year and the previous year. And to me, that's due to injuries. But the proof is in the pudding on what he does when he has his type of players.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. The proof is in the pudding. I mean, I don't think he has a ceiling. Sean said his ceiling has been proven. He's been in it 30 plus years and won nothing. He's been a head coach for 30 plus years? No, he hasn't been a head coach for 30 plus years. And he did win a championship. If you're gonna say 30 plus years, then you got to mention that he won a championship with another team, with the Celtics, right? So I wouldn't even say anything about 30 plus years. Let's just talk about his time being a head coach. No, he has not won a championship as a head coach. He has brought teams to at least one team to the Eastern Conference Finals. He does have a reputation of being able to turn teams around and take them from trash teams to playoff teams. Can he win a championship? We will find out. Did Larry Brown win the championship with the Pistons?
No.
Larry Brown didn't win the championship?
Oh, yes,
Head coach Larry Brown.
Yes.
Right? Was it with the Pistons? It was with the Pistons, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. He didn't win. He was like the same type of coach as Tom Thibodeau. Very, very similar coach as Tom Thibodeau.
And that's actually what I was gonna say. Like, he might just win one. You know what I mean? Like, that might be his ceiling, but he could win one. Like, he might not be a perennial, you know what I mean? Like, he may not do like a dynasty. He might not be a dynasty coach, but I think he could get us one for sure. And some coaches is like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't even gonna say it because I don't want to put no bad energy out there. But some coaches is like that.
Yeah,
He can get us one.
Larry Brown went through his I guess Tom Thibodeau had some drama, but Larry Brown went through his periods of drama, especially with the Knicks. Periods of drama. Same type of coach, similar. Hadn't won championships. I don't know how many years coached without winning a championship. Was known for turning teams around and finally was able to get himself one. You know what I mean? And, no one's a championship coach until they win a championship. Then they're a championship coach. So, I'm not fronting on Tibbs. Phone lines is open if you guys want to call 516-362-5212. Again, 516-362-5212. Give us a call. I want to know your thoughts about the Knicks defeating the Brooklyn Nets, about the Knicks right now. Tomorrow night we play the Washington Wizards at home at the Garden. We expect a win. We should get a win. We better get a win. Be on a 3-game win streak finally. We'll be 2 games above 500. Finally, a little bit of separation. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we can build and go from there. The Public Enemy says, why does Doc Rivers still have a job? Well, that's a good question. That's a good question. I ain't even going to go into that. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother show.
He must have had some tapes like Diddy on some individuals.
That's what I'm saying. He got pictures, tapes, videos. He got all kinds of stuff. He knows all the dirt inside the NBA. So,
You know where the bodies is buried.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I think we gotta, let Tibbs do his thing. Let Tibbs do his thing. You know, he turned this organization around, the culture, and I think we gotta let it rock. See what happens, right? The thing is, for everyone that's out there, people are gonna get mad at me. Sean's gonna get mad at me. If Greg is in the chat, he's gonna get mad at me. Some other people's gonna get mad at me for saying this, right? But with the team that we had before the trade, in my mind, I was like, okay, we have a team that the front office believes is championship material. Now the clock really starts to tick for Tom Thibodeau. Then the trade happens. You weaken the bench a little bit, right? You take away from the depth. I'm not sure. I feel now the team we have, the first five, depending on who's going to end up being that starting four, or unless if this is the group you're rocking with, boom. Now I think we got to the bench has to be strengthened. I think we've got to strengthen the bench, add a piece to the bench that puts us over the top. I think that's my opinion, right? So I think if people want to say, I know the four guy. I know we got a strong first five that's learning each other and this and that, but I think the bench needs to be strengthened. We'll see when Mitch comes back and when Precious comes back, if that strengthens the bench to the level that we need. Neither one of those guys are scorers. I think we need a legitimate scorer coming off the bench. That's my opinion. Deuce, I think we need something different than Deuce coming off the bench. I think we need a legitimate scorer that can come off the bench. So, maybe we had that entire squad that we thought was championship level. This team has the potential to be better than that squad, but I think we got to deepen the bench to be better than this. We never got to see that squad play, but I still think we have the potential to be better. We just got to deepen the bench, and so.
I'm not gonna give pushback because I feel like we can always get better. But I do think at full strength, everyone healthy, I'm interested to see if we have enough to mix and match. You know what I mean? With some start. You know what I mean? Like we talked about Mikal running with that second unit. You know what I mean? How that could work with with those other guys fully healthy, Mitch and Precious and Deuce, Cam, whatever. You know what I mean? So I do want to see it. You know what I mean? I would hate for them to I don't know. I can't even say jump the gun because they seem to know what they're doing when they do it. You know what I mean? Like even if we don't get it, they're strategic.
Yeah. I know y'all mad at me. That's okay. Some of y'all are mad at me. That's all right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Knicks 100 to GM. Fire Tibbs is idiotic. Thank you. I agree.
Especially at this point.
You know what I'm saying? Especially at this point. There's I agree. 100%. I agree. That's crazy right now. There could be a time when it's time to do it. But not right now. Not right now. Player of the game. Who's your player of the game?
Well, What was Cat's stat line?
26 and 15.
I'm going with Cat.
Okay.
I'm going with Cat. You know what I mean? I didn't watch it, so I didn't get to really break it down. So.
Man, like all four of those guys was hooping. It's hard to say. That's why the numbers are similar. It's hard to say. I think I'm going with OG with Kevin. I'm going with OG. I think. You know what I'm saying? How many? I think we need to keep count of OG's dunks this year.
I know one game he had 7. I think the next game he had 5. I think that was the last 2 games, 7 and 5.
I don't know what he had tonight. I don't remember what he had tonight. At least 2 or 3 tonight. I mean, I can remember a stretch where he had at least 2 within a few minutes because Cat found him, and I think it was a dunk. And then somebody found him, and I think he got a dunk, and then Cat found him, and he got a dunk. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm going with OG. I just love what OG's doing right now. You know, I feel really good about it. Feel really, 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 really good about it.
Here's one for you, son. Just to spread the love.
Going with Bridges. Closeout performance in both ends. Played the whole second half. Okay. I have no arguments with any of those guys. I'd have an argument with any of those OG, Cat, Bridges, Hart. If you say Brunson, you're wrong. Because he didn't shoot the ball well. You know what I mean? Unless you want to say, well, he's the player of the game because he knew not to shoot. No, he's not the player of the game. Not the player of the game. What do you think about the Wizards game?
Oh man, let's don't let it be a trap game. You know what I mean? Don't let it be that. We've had letdowns already this year, right? Where we should have closed out some games. We should have beat some opponents that we lost to. Right now it's our first 2-game win streak.
Yep, I think so.
If not, maybe second 2-game win streak, whatever. But we on a streak. You know what I mean? Let's try to keep continuing to build. The last time it's the second 2-game win streak. So yeah, let's try to get a 3-game win streak, something we haven't done yet. You know what I mean? Let's continue to build. A lot of positives. Honestly, there were some positives in some of the recent losses as well. But let's continue to build. Like I don't know, man. People talk about firing Tibbs. Just listen to his philosophies. You know what I mean? Listen to the things he says day in and day out, and then ask yourself, do you see what he's saying coming to fruition? You know what I mean? Like, he's talking about getting better every day. Every day, let's get better. Every day, let's get better. And you see it with this team. The never quit, next man up. Like, everything he talks about, if you watch the games over a stretch of time, you see it. You may not get it at first, you know what I mean? But come 10 games in, you see it. Come 20 games in, you see it. Come a full season, you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know how anybody could doubt Tibbs at this point.
No.
Or even think he peaked. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand the argument if we just can't get over the hump. You know what I mean? Give me 2 more years of you know what I mean, the second round exit, and I might be with you.
Right.
But at this point, man, our first second round exit was one way. The second time, we looked better. We were a better team. You know what I mean? Let's see if we get over this second round hump now after game 7. Let's see if we advance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's see if we can get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
And that's where I am with it. That's where I am with it. You know, we can complain about the minutes. We can complain about all of that. You know, let's see what happens in the playoffs. If we get to the Eastern Conference Finals this year, we took another step forward, right? And then if the year after that we go to the finals, we took another step forward. I mean, as long as we keep taking steps forward, I'm good. Because if you keep taking steps forward and you continue to take steps forward, that leads to a championship. when you begin to stand still, that's when, of course, now you might need to make a change. So we'll see what's up, man. Kevin said anything less than the Eastern Conference Finals is a failure, and I don't care who we play. You agree with that?
I always gotta have context. So I'll say I do care who we play. I do, you know what I mean? Like sometimes the matchups aren't in your favor. Sometimes we know we deal with injuries. So you know what I mean? Like so everything has to have the context. You know what I mean? But all things healthy, all things, you know what I mean? Well, I agree. But you know what I mean? There's obviously little loopholes that you got to take into effect and then be like, all right, I understand why we didn't advance in this round, or I understand why we didn't. You know what I mean? But yeah, Eastern Conference Finals is the goal or better.
Okay. Kevin said, nah, if you want to be the best, bring on any team. That's assuming health isn't a concern for us.
Well, that's what I mean. like last year, I think we by far at healthy, we should have been the Eastern Conference Finals team. No doubt in my mind. But with the health, with the injuries, it's understandable. One might say we overachieved, because due to the injuries.
That's one thing that Tom Thibodeau is very good at. When you have a small roster, getting teams to overachieve. If there's one thing that I would say that I have a knock with Tom Thibodeau, is that maybe he has a tougher time coaching when he has a full roster.
More options.
More options. Let's say that. When he has more options, I think he coaches better. I'll say this. I think he coaches better with less options.
That was one of the first questions I had before the season started, like in the off season and everybody was like, nah, I'm not concerned. But I'm like, is anybody concerned that with all these options, it becomes more difficult for Tibbs to figure out which way to go, night in and night out, or just not adjust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because yeah, I agree with you 100%. When he's limited in what he can do,
Mm-hmm.
or who's available,
mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like that's like gold to him. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't gotta, you know what I mean? I don't gotta think too much, if you will. But I like the way you worded it.
Yeah, I mean what I feel like Tom Thibodeau needs. Too much duplication, I think, becomes an issue for him. Right? Because too much duplication offensively, I think, becomes an issue. Defensively, you want defenders, right? Offensively, I think too much duplication becomes an issue for Tom Thibodeau. Because then it's like, who do I use where, when? I think he likes to know the guy's strengths and they can put them in those different positions.
And specialists.
And specialists, right? And then maybe have another one that can do the same thing of a certain whatever. You know what I mean? And that's why when he has a smaller lineup, got them specialists out there that can just play their role.
Yeah, he like the specialists because he know exactly what I'm gonna use you for. And you know what I mean? And now you don't get no he don't gotta worry about you doing too much. No, I need you to do this, and this. All right, you gonna do that, and then he like define roles, if you will.
That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. But what happens when one person, those specialists go down? You know what I mean?
What? I mean, he's shown to still get the best out of whoever step. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And I
you know what I
do.
mean?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Tone.
No, I mean, I was just saying, like, it's next guy up, and he always seems to excel with whoever he decides to pull in, right?
Yeah.
As the next man up. But
Yeah.
he does, like, if you look at like Mitchell Robinson, when he went down, any year it was always like a duplicate replacement, right? Maybe to a lesser degree, whether it was Noel's, you know what I mean, like Sims, whoever it was just like, all right, I need you to come in, do that same role that Mitchell Robinson did,
Right.
and fill that void.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna bring somebody else in who does something different and then have to change
Had to
everything
change
around.
it up. And I want to tell Sean, it was actually a Freudian slip when I said that's crazy. Right. And I'm going to tell you why. For those who might know, Tyler, the Creator, has Camp Flognaw in LA right now. And Andre 3000 performed,
Mm.
and he only played the flute. That's what when I was saying that's crazy, that's, I was doing two things at once, and that's why
Ain't-
that's crazy came out.
Ain't he up? Ain't he up for a Grammy?
Yeah.
I ain't listened to that album. I'll be honest.
Yeah. You know what
I'll
I'm saying?
keep it 100.
So that's why that came out, Sean. That it was a Freudian slip. My bad. You know what I'm saying? That's why I get for doing two things at once. Anyway. I mean, that is crazy though. Play the flute. Like, I mean, people came there to want to. You
It
did?
sound like intermission to me.
Yeah. Right.
Go get some popcorn. hot
Shoot, with
dog
the
or
amount
something.
of people that's there, ain't no way you get through that crowd to go get some popcorn and come back and see what's coming up next. Ain't no way you get through that. But anyway, I don't know. Did we even get into what we think about Washington?
You did ask me. I don't. Oh yeah, I talked about it. Hopefully, not being a trap game. Take care of business. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still not 100% confident, to be honest. Like, and it's not like of Washington's. It's just that we, what I mean, we had some letdowns, right? So I don't know if we turned that corner yet. You know what I mean? So this is a test for me. This is a test to see, have we turned that corner of, not letting games get away, not undervaluing the opponent, and you know what I mean? Take them serious and
Yeah.
take yourself serious.
Yeah.
Like, continue to build.
Right. That's the thing. Don't play with them. Go out there and handle your business. I mean, we lost to them in the preseason, didn't we?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. We lost to them in DC. Yeah. And now, come down the stretch of the fourth quarter,
We played them twice.
Yes.
We won one and lost one.
I think, yeah. We lost in DC. Down the stretch, it was like Dottie, Tyler.
That's right.
Yeah. We should get the win. I don't even know what the record is, but we should get the win. We should leave tomorrow night's game with a 3-game win streak. 8-6 on the season. Then I think we play Phoenix. A couple days after that. Right. So we just gotta go handle business tomorrow. Take care of that, handle business, and then try to let it flow from there. Let it flow from there. We can't take, like Tony said, like Kevin said, we can't take any team lightly. You know what I mean? Can't take any team lightly. Kevin said, I'll be getting a double dose of the Losers Lounge.
So you Sim, I sent it.
I mean, we're getting the Losers Lounge. Is it a double dose? I don't know, but
it's not a double dose, but it's you know what I mean. They was pretty happy after that after their first loss.
Yeah.
Like,
right, feeling good about it.
That was a feel good loss for them. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, we're going to head over to the Losers Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Give us a few minutes to get things set up. We're going to head over to the Losers Lounge. Join us on the Losers Lounge. All right. So we're going to, talk about the Nets fans and how they feel about losing to the Knicks twice. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your time. We'll see you in a few minutes. Look for the notification. And, tomorrow I'm going to try to get a game preview in tomorrow. I do got practice early. I don't know, my schedule is all crazy, all over the place all the time, but I'll definitely be on a post-game show. Out. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench.